When working with loops to perform repetitive actions, it's often necessary to keep count by increasing or decreasing a number by 1. PHP has two special operators designed for this purpose, but they work in a way that can be rather confusing. Let's focus on adding 1 to a number. This is increment.php, which you can find in the chapter 4 04_03 folder of the exercise files. It begins by initializing number to 5. Then on the next line, number is incremented using the increment operator. That consists of two plus signs, and there must be no space between the variable and the operator. In this particular instance, the operator has been placed after the variable. Then we display the value of number and increment it on line 5 again. This time, though, the operator is placed in front of the variable. Again, there must be no space between the operator and the variable. Then on line 6, we display the value of number. So if we load this into a browser, it shows us the results. We started off with 5, incremented by 1, we get 6, incremented by 1, we get 7. No great surprise there, but let's continue working with the increment operator. What I'm going to do now is to increment number again, multiply it by 2, and assign the result to a variable. So the variable will be result, and then we've got our number, and we increment it and multiply it by 2, and so we know what the result is. We'll display that. We'll have a single quoted string, so we get plain text. Result is, then we'll concatenate the value of result on the end there, and also a line break. So number was 7, we're incrementing it and multiplying by 2. We would expect the result to be 16. Let's just save that and load the page in the browser. But it's not 16, it's 14. And this isn't a bug, it's the way that the increment operator is meant to work. And we can verify that by displaying the value of number on the next line. So echo number and a line break, and we save that and reload the page in the browser. Number is indeed 8. What has happened is it's been increased to 8, but the increment took place after the calculation. So let's try this again. I'm going to duplicate these 3 lines. And here, instead of having the increment operator after the variable, I'm going to put it in front of the variable. Save that and reload the page in the browser. And this time the result is 18. What has happened is that number has been incremented and then multiplied by 2. So that's the difference between putting the increment operator after and putting it before. If the increment operator is after, it's incremented after the calculation takes place. If it's before, it's incremented before the calculation takes place. And the decrement operator, which consists of 2 minus signs, works in exactly the same way. The only difference is that it subtracts 1 from the number instead of adding it. At first sight, the behavior of the increment and decrement operators seems odd, but it's easy to remember. When the operator is after the variable, the value is changed after any other calculation. The new value doesn't affect the calculation, and it doesn't become available until after the calculation has been completed. But when the operator is before the variable, the value is changed first, and the new value becomes part of the calculation. This confuses many beginners, so make sure you understand the difference made by the position of the increment and decrement operators.